Hello, my name is Taylor Reschke, and today I will be discussing what I believe the world will look like in 2030. So first, we're going to recap three major events that have happened in the past 2 years that have really impacted society and will most likely impact society going forward in the next few years. First, we have the pandemic. The pandemic changed the world very quickly before we could even prepare ourselves for it. The past year and a half has been frightening, traumatic, and tragic for many. We could no longer see our loved ones, and some of us even lost loved ones. Personally, the pandemic drastically changed my college experience. Classes became virtual, and I couldn't see many of my friends for a long time. This was supposed to be a time in my life when I was social, went to parties, and truly enjoyed myself. But I spent most of the time isolated, depressed, and anxious. However, things could always be worse, and I'm so grateful my family was able to stay safe and healthy through this tragic time. Next, we have the Biden and Harris presidency. I couldn't be more relieved to not have to hear Donald Trump's annoying voice every day. While Biden and Harris are not absolutely perfect, as my first choice was Bernie Sanders, they are definitely a step in the right direction. Biden's win showed me that America's perspective on social issues is slowly shifting left, even though there is so much more work to be done. I hope that Biden establishes himself as a great president so that America is inclined to possibly re-elect someone from the Democratic Party for the next election. Lastly, we have police brutality and the rise of the BLM movement. Many people in society are deeply hurt, outraged, and feel hopeless about the state of racism in our country. We have seen horrific murders of Black folks broadcasted all over social media and the news. And even worse, we have seen police officers get away with little to no consequences of these murders. Police brutality incited the BLM movement, whose purpose is to assert that Black lives are not a commodity and are deserving of respect and life. Now, looking forward, what will life look like in 9 years? I believe that racism will not improve much in only 9 years, as it is deeply rooted in society and has been a systemic issue that has existed since before slavery even existed. It is going to take a major shift in society for us to collectively come to an agreement on BLM and police brutality. The question is, though, how bad do things have to get in order for people to wake up and see the brutality in question? I predict that Biden and Harris will not do much in terms of police reform or abolishment, most likely because these things are very divisive and considered uber liberal. I wish everyone would understand that respect for human life is not political, it is just human decency. Moving on, the pandemic will change the way we communicate and spend time together forever, mostly due to the trauma the world experienced during the past year and a half. I believe it will take more than just 1 year for the world to go back to normal, mostly because I think we will carry around the burden of paranoia that there could possibly be a pandemic 2.0. In terms of technology, I believe that we will rely more on self-driving cars as they become more safe and popular. Additionally, I believe that we will find new ways to use energy in ways that are more environmentally friendly and sustainable. This includes the process that is occurring in the next few years, in which California has promised a transition to electric vehicles by 2030. I also think that we will have an increase in the use of virtual and augmented reality. This will most likely be beneficial for society because it will give people an opportunity to experience certain situations firsthand that they otherwise would not have experienced. And lastly, I believe that there will be changes in social media, as trends are quickly changing and evolving. There will most likely be new platforms created. This will impact my job in the next couple of years as I am taking up a position in social media and marketing. I will have to remain flexible and eager to learn about new trends in the coming years. So the US will eventually be met with an opportunity, and that is to elect a democratic socialist for the next election. Hopefully, Biden and Kamala will serve as a stepping stone in terms of electing an even more liberal president later on. I believe that democratic socialism will most benefit the majority of society. However, I think that the next election could be very divisive depending on what Biden accomplishes in office. And there may be a surge in alt-right activism and movements in response to this. In 9 years, I hope to have a stable career, get married, and begin to start a family. I can only hope. Because I'm a member of the LGBTQ plus community, policies regarding gay rights are very important, and depending on who I marry, might affect my relationship greatly. So I'm hoping that gay rights continue to stay the way they are or improve in the next few years. Additionally, I will be working in social media marketing, and I'm hoping to start my own business one day. As I mentioned earlier, the rapidly changing internet will likely impact my job in the future. In terms of my values, what I've discussed in the past slides really hits close to home, especially in regards to BLM and police brutality. This is because I am an auntie to two Black nephews, and I am terrified for my nephews to grow up to become Black men in a society that is so hostile and racist. I may never understand what they are about to go through, but I worry for them greatly. They have so much to offer the world, and I just pray that their intelligence, power, and ability won't be undermined just due to the color of their skin. Additionally, I identify as a democratic socialist, like I mentioned earlier, and I believe that electing someone for president who identifies the same way will be really beneficial to society and may ease some of these fears. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my perspective on what I believe the world will look like in 9 years.